My name is Halima, and in Message Revealed, we identify a vibe, a message, or a story told through lyrics of a song. So today, before we introduce our guest, I just want to say a few things that my guest is associated with. One of the things that my guest is associated with is sexy rollers. Correct me if I'm wrong as I go on. He has history on Las Vegas hip hop. And last thing is he teaches and supports youth in DJing, engineering, and one of my favorite, which all children need to have access to, is conflict resolution. So you guys put your hands together for PaulyMacc. I know that's right. Thank you so much for coming on. And before you're welcome. Before you tell us a little bit about yourself, what makes your blood boil?
Oh man, just the way that what makes my blood boil is that this country doesn't realize that we're all in it together. It's like you got the right wing and the left wing, but it's one country. So it's the same bird, and you got two wings. And if one wing is stronger than the other versus equal, you're going to go in a circle. If the other strong wing is stronger, it has to be equal balance so we can soar. So that's my issue right now. That's what makes my blood boil, that we refuse to work together.
I like that. I think we need to have more of that on the table. And it would be for our all, like you said, our better good. It's two wings on a bird, but it's one bird, and we need to have that viewpoint. So I think
we need to fly straight. So we got to flap the wings together, not one right, not one left, going crazy. I'm an independent, so I view Republicans and Democrats as Crips and Bloods in suits.
Oh, wait a minute. You said they're Crips and Bloods in suit.
Just listen to what's going on. You have people who actually want to kill each other because they didn't like who they voted for on president.
It's crazy.
They're getting guns. They have militias. What's the difference?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a valid point. I do not disagree with their behavior. And at the end of the day, we do need to be able to come together. Because
I'm from the streets. You know what I mean? I'm from the streets. I grew up in Gerson Park and Wrigley States. I done been through it. And I can say that, like, we gotta come together. We can't. Those people in Congress and Senate, they got so much money. They can afford to do anything. Yes. They're worse.
Well, here's my thing. When you have a platform, I have a platform, continue to spread your message about unity. And because of that, it can make a difference. We cannot not stop doing our work. And so many times people get caught, oh, nothing can be done. Absolutely. You're a person, and you can continue to open your mouth and tell your truth.
Yes, you can.
So I definitely believe that. So after we get that out of the way, tell me a little bit of who you are. Give me some history background of who you are.
Okay, well, I'm from Chicago. I was born in Cook County Hospital. My mother's name is Rose Chrysler. She's my best friend, my hero, matriarch of the family. Happy to have her around still. Moved from Chicago. I was getting into trouble. I was breaking into hardware stores, and Levine's hardware stores, and doing all types of crazy things at the age of 11. So my mom decided to move to San Jose, California when I was 12. Lived up there for a year, and I met culture. I finally seen Spanish people, Mexican Americans, Italian Americans, Portuguese, Samoans. I met so many different types of people in San Jose, California. I loved it because I instantly got culture. Because in Chicago, I lived on the south side, 7040 for Emerald. That's in Inglewood. And the only people that you seen, other than black folks or white folks, they were either the bus drivers, the school teachers, or and then we have we have the how do I say this? Our Arabic brothers, they owned all the stores, most of all the stores in the corner. So that's what I mostly seen growing up as a kid. So when I moved to San Jose, I got to meet everybody, all types of people, and I enjoyed it, and I liked the culture. I loved eating Mexican food. Oh my God, my real
I
Mexican
second
food.
that.
You know, Italians. Like the first time I ever had pork chops and applesauce. I played soccer, and the coach was German. It was like it was, it was just it was great. And
I
then
love the
we
Bay
moved.
Area. I love the Bay Area. They are a melting pot of everybody from everywhere.
Yeah, the Bay is great. I didn't experience the Bay until I got older when I was working with a guy named Sean Kennedy, and I was up at a spot called T Swaloozies. And it's a old record spot up there, and that was my first experience with the Bay, and it was great. Bay is a great place.
Yes. Yes.
Then we moved to Chicago. I mean, after that, we moved to Las Vegas in my 8th grade year.
So can we
Uh,
can we pause for a minute? You kind of went a little. So what was the catalyst for your mom, to move from the Bay or from San Jose to Las Vegas?
my grandmother, my
Okay.
grandmother moved to Las Vegas. So where my grandmother went, all the daughters went. So eventually, all of my Aunt Paula, my Aunt Linda, I mean not my Aunt Linda, she's the only one to stay. My Aunt Mary and my mom all followed my grandmother out here.
And what age did you arrive in Vegas?
I was 12 and a half.
Okay.
No, I was 13. I was 13. It was and I moved into Gerson Park, and that's who welcomed me first was my family in Gerson Park.
Wow.
Killer, uh, Fats, uh, Eddie, um, uh, because I'm trying not to call him by his street name.
Yeah,
So I think
exactly.
Danny McCoy, um, Eddie Miller, Tommy McCoy. We all hung Big Hub. We all hung together, and we used to make surround sound. We would take video games apart and put them on big speakers and did all types of stuff. So I mean, and then Michael White is the reason why I became a DJ, and he taught us how to DJ inside of Gerson Park and the Boys and Girls Club.
Wow. So that time shaped your foundation on hip hop and how you look at life, probably.
Yes, I believe that your 6th through 9th grade year are your most formidable shaping years because you go through from being a kid to a teenager
Mm,
within those 4 to 5 years, from 10 to 13 to 16, very formidable years that I think you need to have construction in your life. And thank God I had that. Lou Collins, that's my big
okay.
brother.
Shout out
He
to Sweet Lou.
When I moved into Gerson Park, we were basically broke. We didn't have anything. So I went over to Doolittle because I heard they had a baseball tryout. I didn't even have a glove.
Wow.
Mr. Collins gave me a glove and said, come back to the next practice. And
Wow.
from that day, I had a glove. And um, Lou been big brother ever since.
I think that's amazing. You're talking some good stuff. And what I want to say with that, community engagement is such a big part of successful families. It takes a they say it takes a village, and I truly believe that the parents provide the foundation, but so many different pieces are connected to people that came and gave in the community.
I'm a product of a village. Trust me. In Chicago on Emerald, we had Miss Anderson across the street. She took everybody on tours to Great America, to the zoos. We had Miss Dorsey next door. She gave everybody bacon sandwiches. Yeah, if you needed, you never went hungry on my block because somebody was always willing to feed you and let you sit on a porch. So, so I grew up in the village, and I understand how people can come to play in your life and make it better. So, with that being said, after Lou and Mike White, I met DJ Mike, the
Mm,
Williams family. they basically adopted me. I was at their house on weekends. They lived out on Alta and Anatolia, and at the time, this was the end of Las Vegas.
Say that. Say that.
And I was over there every week,
Wow.
DJing on his turntables. His mom, Miss Williams, bless her soul, she ain't here no more.
Oh.
But she would give me my own box of cereal, my own pack of ham, cheese, 2 loaves of bread, because she knew I like to eat.
Wait,
So when I
wait.
came
First of
over,
all, she adopted you. If she's doing all that, she's taking you in.
oh yeah, Miss Williams took everybody in. The Brandons, all of us, we all hung at DJ Mike's house. 25 kids in his room DJing in the
Wow.
backyard. We used to throw week-long parties back in the day. It was like red cup parties, you know. We used to do a lot of crazy things back in the
Wow.
day. But that was all because I was part of the village. I don't take none of this credit by myself, because if it wasn't for Mike, I wouldn't have advanced. If it wasn't for Silky D, I wouldn't have had my name. I wouldn't have had my raccoon hat as my stilo. I used to wear a raccoon hat with a tail. That's because of Silk. If it wasn't for Stacy G passing the title on to the FBI crew, he could have stopped that, but he didn't. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for KCP,
Say that.
Battle of the Mix, having us on every Friday night, it took a village to grow, to plant the seed. So I'm very happy to be part of this Las Vegas village. One reason why I've never left, because I've had job offers in Atlanta, I have job offers in New York, but I was like, nah,
Well,
I want to be here.
I'm happy to hear that, being a Las Vegas native, and because you've contributed and been here so long, it's almost like you're a native. I understand you were born and raised in Chicago, but your upbringing, your soul, everything is rooted here, and I appreciate that, you know. And we're going to continue to rock Las Vegas and show them what it's all about.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Paul Macklin was born in Chicago, but PaulyMacc was born in Las Vegas.
Wow, I love that. I love
So
that.
I get flack sometimes. Every once in a while, you weren't born here. That's the other thing that makes me mad. Like,
Uh-oh.
I know I wasn't born here, but that don't make the love for this city I have no less than yours. Believe me,
Absolutely.
I love Las Vegas. I love this city.
Absolutely. I love that you love that, because people be like, "Oh, Las Vegas." I'll be like, "Wait, hold on. This is my native place. You can't talk about Vegas." And Vegas is so unique in so many levels, and I don't want to go into so much detail about it, but it's no place like Las Vegas. And to be born and raised here and to go to other places, I know what the foundation is. Don't get me wrong. I've traveled. I love how beautiful other places is, but it's something so unique about Vegas that keeps me here and will always keep me here. Whether I stay here, I will still have a home here. This is my roots. So anyway, I digress, but I do want to circle back to what I mentioned before at the very beginning about you providing support to the youth and about DJing, engineering, and conflict resolution. Let's talk about conflict resolution first, because I think it's so necessary, just not for children, even for adults. How did you think about, hey, let me implement this in the classroom setting or the teaching setting?
Well, with age, you get a little wisdom. You figure out some things. Figure out that some of the kids in our class weren't paying attention because they were hungry. So we got Lunchables program to go into the school. That's part of conflict resolution, because we just ended that conflict of that young man or woman, a young kid being hungry, young lady being hungry. So that's one. Well, they might have had a bad day, and then there might be some little roughhousing. So what we do is we sit them in front of each other in a chair, and we ask them, "Now what happened? You go first. So and so, so and so, so and so. Okay, you go. So and so, so and so. Okay, now you do realize that you started this when you put your hands on that person, right? Yeah, I realize I started it. Can you shake his hand, and can we get back to DJ and not have this happen again? 9 times out of 10, those kids are so happy to be out of those chairs. You know what I mean?
I
And go
love it.
back to being part of the class and DJing. We don't
Yes.
get too many repeat offenders.
I think that's wonderful. And again, that goes back to the village. giving them the tools so they can be successful in life. I'm a huge proponent of that. Where did you get the idea to have them sit in chairs and face each other? That's a
My,
great tactic.
well, two reasons. My Uncle Derek in Chicago, he's here in Las Vegas too. When my grandmother moved, he came out here also. Also, my Uncle Mike. But he was a high-ranking dude on the streets in Chicago. And I used to watch him in his van get out. And I used to see him sit on the other side of the porch and I used to see how they would talk to each other. It could be 1,000 people around him, but them two locked in with each other, that was the respect level.
Yes.
Same thing with my Asian friends. Um, I have a uncle. I call him my uncle, but he's really my teacher. And when you see two Asian peoples talking like this together, it could be 1,000 Asian people around them. They're not even paying attention to those two because they realize that they're facing each other. It's a personal conversation, and everybody else around them don't even pay attention. It's so crazy when you see it.
Wow.
Two people arguing, and no one's paying attention to the arguing because
Wow.
that's how much they're locked in. So I learned that from Eric Yee, which is my teacher, and I learned that from my Uncle Derek.
I think that's amazing. And it gives me a perspective in the future to become intimate with that person. I think it also would diffuse the situation. Like now we're close together, whether you want to get out the person's face or not. Okay, let's talk about it so we can come to some kind of resolution.
Yeah, we don't want things to fester. When things fester is when bad things happen. Oh, why didn't you say something a month ago? Oh, I was too angry. No, let's talk about this now. Let's go have a. It's so many. You'd be surprised what a meal. Hey, let's go get a burger, man. Let's go talk. All right, let's go eat. Or
Yes.
the case. What's wrong with you, man? Let's go get some chicken. Let's go eat. You'll be surprised by the end of that meal you'll find out everything you want to know about what's going on with that person because the person has agreed to go eat with you. So that
Yeah.
means that they have agreed to open up to you, but you just had to have the tool to make that happen, which is, hey, let's go get something to eat.
I love it. I think it's amazing, and it makes me think about a point. I had a conflict. Well, um, a parent came in, and I've always worked directly or indirectly with parent and children, and a parent just went off on me, and I ended up taking care of business. But the reason why I'm saying that, the principal at the school came up to me and said, 90% of that was not about you. And I never really thought about it at that time from that perspective. But what I found out later, she was late for work. Her child kept getting in trouble, and on and on and on. So I was the first person to deliver some news she was not happy about. And boom, boom, boom. So with conflict resolution or sitting down having, like you said, some chicken or having a meal, you can break those walls down and go, oh, I see where you were coming from. Not saying that your behavior was correct. Now you
Right,
have perspective and context. So,
right, absolutely. So that's what we instilled in the school. I mean, in the class. So we have a Buck. Let me tell you how this all started. Buck called me. He's like, I want to start a DJ school. I've been wanting to start a DJ school for a long time.
okay, I'm going to stop you real fast. Who is Buck?
DJ Get Buck. That's Ricardo King.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Shout out
he's
to Ricardo King.
he's my business partner in the school. And basically, he was like, I want to start a school. He had lost his mom a year ago, previous, and I had just lost my brother. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take my pastor's advice and fill that box with happiness. Because
Yes.
sometimes if you leave that box sitting open, something else might jump in that box
Ooh,
that you don't want. So
wisdom.
so I just
Wisdom.
filled it up. I filled it up. I talked to my really my OG George. He's Ice T's manager, and I have a really good spiritual connection with him. I mean, we talk about family, God, kids, and he's really smart businessman. And he also gave me the good advice of donating my time and putting happier things around, and it's worked. It's
Wow.
really It really works. So
You are blessing somebody that lost someone and they didn't think about it like that. Now they can go in and share their gifts.
yeah, I didn't want to, dwell. I didn't want to, because I'm 54. I'll be 55 September 7th.
Oh,
So
my favorite
literally,
number, 7.
that's what's
Yeah,
up. So
yes.
literally, the human lifespan is 73 to 77 years. 73 for a man, 70, 76, 77 for a woman. So if I live my lifespan, that means I have 25 years left, right? Do I want to live my lifespan arguing with anybody? Do I want to live my lifespan not doing the best I can? No. I'm going to fill those boxes with all the happiness, all the joy, and help people. See, this program is paid for by Buck and I. We don't
Wow.
get no money from nobody. Turn all the equipment, ours, all the food, we pay for it. Banners, we pay for it. Gas, we pay for it. We pay
Wow.
for the school to run.
Wow. I believe this. I have because I give. I give because I have. And because of
Amen.
my giving, I'm never without. So because of what you're doing, I know for sure you will never be without. Things may run low, but you'll never be without because of what you're giving.
Amen. That's my way. That's my way of thinking. That's how my grandmother and my mom, grandma's passed, but my mom, that's how they always thought, like put God first. I didn't know what that meant when I was younger. But as a man,
Hmm.
I know what that means now. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So
Yes. Well,
put God
that's
first and everything else slides in.
yes. Well, and that's a process of getting to know God for yourself. We get the introduction, but you are responsible for forming the relationship and getting to know him yourself.
Yeah, because he ain't going nowhere. He's
Yeah.
he's there waiting for you to say hi. You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely that. Definitely that. So, as we transition into the question I want to ask you, so I I want you to think about some lyrics of a song that either provided a lesson for you, either provided a blessing for you, or you can talk about some distractions. Now, before we get started, it's rules to this game or to this process. If you can sing, you must sing the song. If you can rap, you better rap that throw box out. But if you cannot do either one, you better speak boldly on the lyric. So share with me either a blessing, a distraction, or a lesson from a lyric of a song. Did I throw you off?
Golly.
You like,
No,
and
because it's like, because Public Enemy is like my favorite group of all time, right? So it's like when you said that, it's like every Public Enemy single and album is going through my head right now.
what? Throw out one.
I got a letter from the government the other day. They opened and read it. They said they were suckers. They wanted me for their army or whatever, just to meet them. I said, damn, I said never. I mean, it's like,
That wait a minute. You can't just go into think about the lyrics. That was super dope. You say it at the very end again. He said
I
he
said
got
they were suckers. They wanted me for their army or whatever. Next to me, damn, I said, damn, I said never. Here's a land that never gave a damn. Here's a land that never gave a damn. Yeah,
no, no,
it's,
no, no. You good, but look how poetic and how strong those lyrics are.
oh, my vocal inflection is because of Chuck D. Ease back, check my vocabulary. It's scary, verbal dexterity. I create rhyme and reason in my lab. I hit like a foreman jab. You got 10 seconds to learn your own style before you end up in this here whack pile, your denial. Check my freestyle. This shit's so bizarre, it's in the X-Files. We came in boats, now we slit in throats like a Klingon flagship. I come cloaked. You can't see me because you on the down low. Bright like indigo, reaction is chemical. 2023, all new scenario. Getting paid is my theme. Don't make me mad like Bruce Banner. I'll turn green. I attack with some unarmed combat. I beat up Jax, froze Sub-Zero. I'm locked in Mortal Kombat. Up, down, down, high kick, left, right. Out of my hand comes a burning mic. When you journey until my pit, bring a pendulum. The last word you heard, finish him.
Ooh,
That's
go
my rap.
ahead.
That's because of Chuck. My inflection is because of Chuck D.
Well, shout out to Chuck D. Him and I have the same birthday, August the 1st. So shout
Yeah.
out to Chuck D. Wow, that was dope. Think about that. Like that's some of the foundation of what is spring forth to today. Those things. And for you to definitely give Chuck D credit, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I got a trinity is what I call. I got Chuck, I got Ice-T, and Nas is another one of my favorite,
Ooh.
like immaculate storytellers. Cube, AZ, um, man, Scarface, um, um, uh, man, I got so many going through my head right now. MC8, I love MC8. I think that he's one of the most underrated rappers of all time. Same
Okay,
with Quick,
let's pause for a minute. Why do you think he's underrated?
because I think because he's on the West Coast and bro got like a draw, like it's like an East Coast just draw. He didn't resonate like, but when you listen to his lyrics and his delivery, man, it's like Eight is like one of those like wow, just just one of those mysteries that I love Eight. Same thing with Quick. Quick is my first producer rapper to me that was equal. I
Are
rap
you
as good as
referring
I
to
produce.
DJ Quick or you're referring to DJ Quick, right?
DJ Quick, yeah.
Oh, yes.
DJ
Okay.
Quick could rap as good as he could produce. He was that first double threat, in my opinion, to where you had a rapper who can also go into the booth and nail you out a hit too. So,
Yes.
Quick, man, there's a lot of great rappers. Ice-T is one of my favorite storytellers of all time. I learned California and the ropes listening to his music, and later NWA, you know, South Central Cartel, uh, Battle Cat, first dude to hold it down. He got Crips and Bloods together in the same room to do a compilation. I don't know how he did that. Salute to Battle Cat. And then, Dog Pound. I mean, as a duo, it's just the West Coast is just as filthy. Filthy.
Yes.
The West Coast is filthy.
Yes. And I would be remiss if we didn't shout out hip hop 50 years. And we know that it will
Yeah.
continue to celebrate 50 years. That's a milestone. And we know it has penetrated every part of the earth. What I mean by that, you go in grocery stores, commercials, children's birthday party. I can go on, and you can find pieces of hip hop everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. It was 50. Hip hop is 50 years old. The essence of it, hip hop started because of a gang truce, because all the other gangs in the different boroughs were able to go to other neighborhoods now and show off their different fashion, their different breakdance moves, their different way of rhyming and styling. As before, they couldn't do that because it was so segregated. But after the gang truce, they started mingling with each other, and that's was the birth of hip hop. And just look at what it did in Vegas. I mean, some of my favorite artists of all time are sitting here in Las Vegas. TDK. I love listening to TDK. He has one of my favorite songs of his is called "I Hold the Whole World Hostage," and
Mm.
his cadence and the way he wrote the track, I was like, this is so professional, And there's like Mob G, there's Sandpen. He put out one of the best albums in Vegas history. It's Independence Day. You got Murderous Click, hands down, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best groups ever on the West Coast, period. Um, 420, you had my crew, FBI crew, you had you had you had Phantom Crew, you had POP, you had, what was the guy's name? What was Don Shay's crew name? I'm trying to think of that real quick. Well, anyway, Vegas at the time had a great culture. And I think that then the culture is back because we're the entertainment capital of the world right now.
Yes.
So artists here now have the avenues to go play in hotels, DJ in hotels. You know, we started all that. Frankie, Rob, the twins, DJ Mike, Frank, Hypo Scott, Stacy G. We were on the strip before we used to rent out banquet halls at the
What?
Imperial Palace and throw parties.
Wow.
The old hacienda, rent out the banquet hall and throw a party. So hip
Wow.
hop has been on the strip a very, very, very long time.
And that's why I think it's necessary. So when you and I met originally, was at an event for Curtis Blow.
Yeah.
And
OG.
yes, yes, shout out to Curtis Blow. If I rule the world. Um, anyway, with that being said, I don't know if you remember the conversation we had off to the side. And I said, we really need to tell the story of Las Vegas hip hop. And do you remember what you said to me?
Call me.
You said, let's get it together. I'll tell the story. So I think I'm gonna keep that in the back of my head, and I think that would be necessary to tell the story on a broader level, so we can really show why Las Vegas is the entertaining capital of the world. And the piece that's really missing is the hip hop piece. So I'll keep that in mind. That's another conversation for another day. But I remember you saying that, and I was like, this guy don't even know me. You was like, yeah, you and who we were talking to,
Um,
what's this
big
name?
um
He's gonna get
um
me for this.
yeah, me too. Big I just know it's
Donna
big.
Street. That should ring a bell. Donna
Yeah,
Street.
it's big. What's the face? Uh
Oh, he's got, matter of fact, I got an interview with him, so he's gonna get me. But the whole thing is you guys both in unison said, get it together and we'll do it. So I'm gonna keep that in the back of my head. And I really think we can make something really beautiful if we decide to tell, or you guys tell the story and I sit down and narrate the session. So anyway, before we get out of here, I have a segment that's called Gather and Give. I gather the questions and you give the answers. So, can you tell me about a song that as a child you listened to the lyrics and it was one way, and when you became an adult, you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's not what they were saying?
that would have to be Bad Mama Jamma by Carl Carlton.
Oh, okay, get why.
Well, in Chicago, we used to go to Hamilton Park, right? And in Hamilton Park, that's where we used to go get choke sandwiches. Choke sandwiches,
Wait. Yeah, please explain what choke sandwiches are.
the bread's this thick, the meat's this thick, the cheese is that thick. And you literally have to press it down and put applesauce on it to soften it up and eat it. But it was a blessing. And he came up to the park to do He's a Bad Man Jamma. Oh, he did that song for 30 minutes straight, right? I'm thinking the song is about a dance. I'm a kid. I'm thinking the song's about a dance because everybody's doing a dance called the bump at the time. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking, okay, this is the song that goes with the bump dance.
Yes.
No, as I got older, he was talking about bumping.
And you're like, oh, huh?
Yeah, I didn't catch it first. I caught it because everybody was dancing to it at first. So it
Yes.
wasn't like I actually listened to it. I was like, "Oh, Carl Carlton on." Everybody just started dancing.
But that's the beauty of music. It can take you on twists and turns and you have no idea. And then you'll think, wait a minute, what did they? Oh, all this time I was thinking this, and it's something else. So that was a great story to share. You like, hey, it's about dancing and it's about a different kind of dance. How about that?
Right.
So whenever it's three or more people saying a lyric to a song together, to me is high elevation. Like, for example, if you hear people singing happy birthday, everybody saying it together is very high energy. Can you identify a song where a group of people actually repeated the lyrics together? Like, for example, I started from the bottom, now I'm here. You usually hear that at graduation. Everybody is celebrating because they've moved on. I think that's a Drake song. Can you think of a song that you can share with us that has that background where everybody is like repeating it together and celebrating?
I think there's two songs that come to mind, and that's 50 Cents In the Club. When that come on, the whole temperature change in the room. Everybody looking at each other, getting their little strut on. 50 hitting the lyrics, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm a big 50 Cent fan. 50, you listen to his raps, you've been through the shit that he's talking about, and I can respect that. And plus, he's a dope rapper too. So, and then the other one is
Yes.
Bad and Bougie. So
Okay.
when Bad and Bougie come on, I noticed that that even though it might be a little tension in the room with the ladies but when that song come on, I see y'all start congratulating each other. Y'all start looking at each other. Go ahead, girl. Y'all, whatever y'all be doing. But I see when that song come on, y'all start congratulating each other. So I dig that too. Shouts out to Migos.
That is funny. You know what? Since you brought that to my attention, I'm going to pay attention. I like the song because, of course, who don't want to be bad and bougie.
But watch when that song comes on. Just watch the ladies in particular. They look at each other and smile and go. And I don't know if it's a devious smile, but I do know for that song that everybody's vibing off each other.
Wow.
And yeah. So
I
yeah.
like that. I like that. I'm definitely going to pay attention and see, and I'll let you know what the outcome is. I'll text you and be like, hey, it's on. You're right.
Right on.
But I go back to my childhood. I had the opportunity at one point to purchase music for myself, by myself, with my own money. Can you think of an artist that you had the opportunity to purchase without your mother influence? It was your own money, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to go get.
This is gonna sound real strange, right?
Okay.
I don't remember buying music because I've always been in a record pool. I've been a DJ since I was 12. Since Michael White, yeah, since I was 12 and a half, 13.
Wow.
I've always had access to 88.1 to records. I've always had access to DJ Frankie because he'd fly to New York to get the latest music coming back. So I don't remember what records I used to buy. I just know that I hung out at Odyssey on Tuesdays and on
Okay.
Saturday nights, because Odyssey on Tuesdays, that's when the CDs and records and new stuff came out, and it was a good conversation for 2 hours. A lot of people in line, the store packed, good conversation on music. And then the same thing, going there on a Saturday, it was a lot of beautiful ladies in there on a Saturday night because it was open 24 hours.
Oh, I
So
know. Wasn't that amazing?
yeah,
Right
so
next to
Odyssey was
White Cross
great.
Drugs.
Yeah, Odyssey was great. They had that good old cheeseburger at White Cross Drugs too. Good old cheeseburger up in there.
But
So
yeah,
yeah, so
Odyssey,
I don't
you're bringing
remember.
back some memories. You're definitely bringing back some memories. You didn't go to as a woman, you didn't go to Odyssey not dressed cute because you didn't know who you
Yeah,
were
that
going to
you
run
know what's
into.
up. That's exactly what it was. Saturday night in Odyssey was like at a club. You get there
Yes.
at 10 to about 1. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is good.
Funny that you say that. Do you think, yes, we have download, we have access to music, but do you think at this day and age, it would be beneficial to have a music house, not necessarily to purchase music, but to engage in different mediums of music?
Yes, there is a house out here called the House of Hip Hop that the Upright Lions work out of. And they welcome people over to the house. They talk music, they do shows, they do photos over there. It's called the House of Hip Hop Upright Lions. So
I'm gonna
that's
check it
kind of
out.
that's kind of already taking place. And then my garage has been like that for 20 years.
Wow.
My garage is my resume. So everything I've ever done, poster wise, everything, any project I've ever worked, is hanging in my garage. So it's like, yeah, I've worked all these projects, like thousands of them.
Well,
So
as you mentioned projects, tell me a little bit about Sexy Rollers because we didn't get a chance to touch bases on that.
okay, Sexy Rollers is a concept that I came up with because I'm really into algorithms. I'm really into reading people's algorithms and seeing what's new, and combining marijuana. It's legal in 30 something states right now, and it's going to get more legal. It's not going to get less, illegal anymore. It's going to get more legal. So I combine music, beautiful ladies, and marijuana. So the ladies are actually rolling cones, cigars, and leaves, and they roll them. They're not dressed scantily, then they're dressed very sexy, but they're not overtly anything. It's really PG, right? And we don't show them actually smoking the weed. We show them just rolling and having a good time. I'll send you a clip.
Okay.
So, um, and basically, it's a marketing tool. So when people and these parties and other companies need somebody to have at their different locations when they're having a party, they can call me up. They can rent out a sexy roller, a young lady who will roll the weed for them for 4 hours,
I
or
had no
cones.
idea.
Yeah, and we put it to local music. So all of the first 5 shows is all local Vegas artist music. Well, actually, I take that back. I got some of my syndicate folks. I got some of my syndicate folks' music up in there because they're my family too. So yeah, so that's the first 5 episodes of beautiful ladies rolling marijuana with nice bottles on the table, and like I said, when you see the clip, you'll understand. And we got that show. We're also doing Eat and Chill 30-minute meals. We've
Mm.
located 45 restaurants that you can walk into, eat within 30 minutes, and then if you decide you want to go to a bar, you want to go elsewhere, the 2 hour to sit down and eat window, and then you go after 2 hours, like, I want to go home. So we've identified some restaurants that you can go in and eat real quick and then go like to places like Tap and Ash, Mariposa, Cork and Thorn, just
Yes.
stuff like that, So that's what that's all about. Eat and Chill 30-minute meals. And then we also are doing a show about smoke shops.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm doing my own podcast called 10 Questions.
Nice. You busy. I'm really honored that you said yes. You got a lot going on. So, wow.
Yeah, so I want my own network. It was like when I was working, my last job was the Imagine Dragons video. It's called Sharks, and
Mm.
I was part of the drone camera team. It was 125 degrees out there on the strip. We did the fountain scene. I'll send you the clip for that too. And we did the fountain scene, and that day I retired. I sent the video out. I said, you know what? At 53 years old, my body cannot take this anymore. I can't
Mm.
do it.
Mm.
And I gave my bag. And if you know anybody has a grip bag that's your work bag. It's an expensive bag. Gave my bag away the very
Just
next
like that.
day. Yeah, because I knew I wasn't going back. Gave my grip bag away to a young man who wanted to be a grip, who I was working with, but he, didn't have the greatest tools and everything. So I
Mm-hmm.
gave him my bag. I was like, good luck, man. Don't wear your body out. Because basically, I'm going to tell you what happened. I got on a ladder. I was about 12 feet up. And I looked down and I said, what if I fall? I've never, ever questioned myself before. So, and then when I got down off the ladder, I shook it off. And then we had to push a 600-pound sled through the Bellagio to the fountains, because those are the counterweights that support the uh, the camera with the arm. The It'll come to me. It's a camera. It's a camera with the arm that you can get good shots with, and it has to have the counterbalance on the bottom of it so that it doesn't go forward.
Oh, is
So
that the camera that kind of raises up and go over?
yeah. I got I'm just not thinking of the name right now. And then because when I had to push that sled there and then push that sled back up, I said, what am I doing? And at that time, grips make good money. I mean, we work 10 hours and we come home with 650.
Really?
Yeah, we come home with any no less than $35, $40 an hour. No less.
Wow.
So when I gave up my position, I gave up my spot too. I gave up my call log list. Don't call me no more. I'm not going to do it. So I gave up my spot. Because I wasn't going back.
Wow.
Because I got into other things. I started working with a company called C3, and they are a casino gift giving company. They make the best gifts, the best the the best stuff that you can actually give a slot player.
Really?
For those contests. Pots, pans. Ice-T has a speaker going through the system.
Nice.
Um,
So they do
uh,
promotional things.
They do promote. They help casinos with promotions and plan promotional items. Shout out to Carl. Shout out to Amy. So yeah, that's what they do. And I started working with them. And then and when I found out that Disney was coming out here with 15 sound stages, Paramount's coming out here with 15 sound stages, Sony's coming out here with 15 sound stages.
That's the only one I've heard about.
Well, no, they're all coming. I started another business because I wanted that business to be specific to just film and film marketing. So I started Syndicate Media Group LLC, which is owned by me and my two kids.
Nice.
But I do have business partners. I got Gilbert Walker in Kansas City. He has a brand called Squirrely Nugs, but he's my advertisement partner on all of the television shows I do. And I want to explain what an advertising partner is. I own all my shows that I'm filming, but um, I have a business relationship with Gilbert to that where the commercial money, because he's invested, he's always going to get some of the commercial money. So when the shows go from state to state, um, format to format, he's always in on the loop.
So in other words, my understanding, he gets a percentage, even though you own it. It's kind of like a back end deal. Is that what am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, I mean, in a short sense, yeah. I mean, basically, the shows that I got coming out, they're gonna do revenue because they fit niches. So instead of investing in my company, I have an advertisement side. There's gonna be money made off this through the advertising side. So when it goes to a different network in Canada,
Yes.
because I own it, I get those rights for advertisement. So like Dick Wolf, for instance, he has like 25 shows on television. So when that commercial money that Tide might pay 800,000 to run a commercial doing one of his shows because his show's in the top 10, that $800,000 goes to goes to Mr. Wolf. It goes to whoever the executive producer, whoever's putting the money out. That's what that money goes to, right? So if I have my own 4 shows going through rotation that I own, going through different networks, going through different parts of the world and country, I'm always getting advertisement dollars off the same material.
You know
Because
what?
there's 7.5 billion people in the world and everybody ain't watching TV at the same time.
That's the truth, but I'm glad you broke this down. It gives whoever's watching a different perspective on how to run your business and implement your business. So I thank you for sharing that. I think that was very beneficial. And you own your own stuff. You still can do so. You can still put it on multiple platforms, correct?
I can put it on multiple platforms. I can go into a city like Chicago and find out what their rate is for me to put my show on for 10 weeks on one of their networks.
Wow.
All right, cool. All right, how much advertisement can we sell? All right, Well, I'm gonna give you some secrets because I don't mind, because I want everybody to, I want eventually everybody to be able to take care of themselves, whatever they're doing.
Absolutely.
So if I want to attract people to my show, I'm going to have commercials on there already that are going to attract people to my show. So if
Mm.
I go into Chicago and I want to put my show in there, I'm going to contact one of my guys over there. I'm going to have a juke competition. That's the
Okay.
footwork. And
Yes.
I'm gonna have $300, $400 prize, film it, and that's going to be part of me, my commercial, getting my brand into another city,
Okay.
because I sponsored the juke contest.
Yes. Yes. You talking some real good stuff. I appreciate that. I really do. Oh, I think we lost our person. Anyway, thank you guys for watching Message Reveal. I'm going to follow back up and find out. Oh, he's back in. Let me re-admit him in. Okay. We had a little issue. I see you're on the screen, your name,
Sorry
but I
about
don't.
that.
That's okay. I was I was getting ready
Yeah,
to just
it's after 10 o'clock. So what happens is my phone starts ringing like Jesus Christ. Hold on just 1 second. Send it to
Okay.
voicemail. All right, there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's different ways you have to, and if you want to go in somebody else's community, you have to involve them right away. You can't go in there and tell them I'm gonna go take over something. Don't work.
But come on, let's be real. That's a bad way of thinking to begin with. Even though people do that, but you're just not going to do that. It has to be a bite.
Do you know how many times I've heard I'm gonna take over Las Vegas?
I couldn't even imagine.
Oh my God! I hear, and normally I just excuse myself or just like, well, best of luck, you know.
Exactly. But it's a valid point because people do come with those, what we call it, wild ideas. And we're like, okay, let's see what's going on. Let me see you do what you say you're getting ready to take it over. So,
Right.
but no, not just Vegas, anywhere. You need to have a relationship, and you're not going to just go in and just take over anything.
No, being part of Rhyme Syndicate, Ice-T's crew, and being also part of Zulu Nation, I've learned the value of a bridge.
Ooh, say that.
I've learned the value of a bridge because that's what I consider myself. I had a long talk with God, and I'm never going to be as rich as the richest man. I'm never going to be as poor as the poorest man. But my job is to bring people together. So I'm a bridge, and I've accepted that.
I love that. I think a bridge is important. Think about that, how profound that is. If it's two people on the other side and they can't get to each other, the bridge is what provides the connection. So I
Right.
think that's dope, and I've never heard it provided like that. So shout out to you for that one. Yes, definitely. The bridge. That'll be my AKA name for you when I'll be like, what's up, PaulyMacc, the bridge. So and it was branded right here on Message Reveal. So
Message
I take
reveals.
credit
Come
for
on.
it. Yes, I take
That's
credit
right.
for it. So before we get out of here, can you share a lesson you have learned either from a friend, a foe, that really resonates with you right now today? Like it really changed your life. You're like, hey, I'll never do this again, or I understand how to do this. I think I stumped you, huh?
No, I have to figure out how to say this in a,
Okay.
uh, I've learned that there's a couple of profound people in my life. I'm not going to mention family because my family is on a pedestal. I'm a billionaire because I got a great family.
I love that. I
You know what I
love how
mean? So
you
I'm on a
gave your mama.
pedestal. My family is incredible.
And I
But
love, can I
friends
just say
wise,
this real fast?
yes.
I love how you gave your mother credit when you started and you said she's your best friend. I love that. I think it's so necessary for us to really respect our women, our mothers, and our daughters. Thank you for saying that. Shout out to your mother. And go ahead. I just had to
Yeah, no
say that.
doubt. And so some key people, friends that have taught me some things. One is my cat KT. I don't think nobody loves Vegas more than Cat. He's the owner of a general population music group and store. He has his store um, provides a recording booth, marketing, a place for you to go sell your stuff out of. He's his own clothing brand. He's his own record label. And I don't think nobody loves Las Vegas more than Cat, in my opinion. Because
Wow.
I've been around him. He's an immaculate note taker like myself. And I don't think nobody wants more for Vegas than Cat does. And that's why I was like, Cat, I wish you was a rapper.
Wow.
I wish you was a rapper with that attitude because I'd manage you, you know.
Because you can
And
see the passion.
oh yeah, no doubt. He wants he wants his city to win. And I can appreciate that from he's born and raised here. Catch, that's my guy. So he has a place for kids and adults to come over there to chalk up their game. You need some help in marketing, they can help you over there. Him, Jay, Larry Lair, Big Keith, Bone, they're all experts in music over there. And they got shoot videos and everything. So make sure you go over to General Population Music Group store, buy some t-shirts, get some
Yes.
hats, ask some questions because they are a great resource. And then Big Keith, he's a resource by himself. If you have an issue with housing, if you have an issue with you need food, clothing, um, whatever you whatever you Keith can provide through his Bully Busters organization.
And
You know what I mean?
I agree. Big Keith was actually my very first interview that said yes to me. So shout out to Big Keith.
Yeah, Big Keith.
Um,
That's OG.
yeah,
He's a 60-year-old out of the crew. So
uh,
we give him as much respect. And and then there's Robert Straughter. Straughter's doing
yes,
he's doing his thing too. So with the combination of the things that we are doing as a whole, even though it's separate, we can call on each other for anything that we want. If I need Straw to come over and help me do something, Straw will do it. If Straw needs me, I'm over there. You know, so it's at a point right now to where me and Buck decided to concentrate on just three things versus a whole plethora because we got kids' attention. Kids'
yes.
attention spans are can't keep them.
2.3 seconds.
Yes. So we came up with the DJing, the engineering, and the conflict resolution. That's all we do. We don't do
Yes.
anything else. We refer that over to the other experts. I only deal with I'm an expert in. I'm an expert in DJing. I'm an expert in engineering. I have a degree. I got an AGS in social studies from Community College of Southern Nevada. I got over
Okay.
14 different 14 different what do you call those things?
Certificates.
Certificates on how to go into a workplace and conflict resolution. That's what I did in college. I was a senator in college. So I learned
Nice.
how to sit and talk and deal with people and get what people needed. So that's where I got all that from. All this started from when I was a kid watching my uncle politic, and I kept that politic all the way through, stay in my lane where it's bright.
Yes, yes. And for the record, so you and I both don't get slain. Robert is Strutter is also the person we were referring to when we were all standing together, correct?
No, Straw wasn't there. That was
It's not
not big.
oh,
It's
he
not
is
Big
gonna
Fuse. I'm trying to
I cannot think of his
Big
name.
Face. Big
What is it?
Face. FACE.
No, but what is his
FASE.
name? What is his name?
See,
It
that's
is
you know
Robert.
what?
Robert was standing with it. It is. His last
Oh,
name
Robert
is
Straughter his Straw is his rap name.
Yeah, and Donna, he came off of Donna Street.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
He Straw did pop up. That was Straw. You
yes,
right.
and
You
that
right.
was the three of us
You
when we
right.
had the conversation.
You
See,
right.
now don't
You right.
make me.
You 1,000% right. Yeah, that was
Yes.
Straw.
So
Yeah.
him and I were engaging and talking. He saw you. You guys hugged. He introduced, and we started to talk. And then that's when we had the conversation. So shout out to Robert. We did not forget you. He's actually
Teacher of the Year, academic of the year,
yeah,
Robert Strawder.
yay!
You know?
Yeah, he's doing wonderful things. He actually agreed to come on to the podcast. So yes, that's funny. Look at all these three people that I knew individually. I didn't know you guys had a connection. Big Keith, Robert, and you.
Well, me and Straw go back to the streets. We go back deep. You know, we see Vegas only had 9 high schools at one time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everybody knew each other. I would leave Chaparral and go to Western to watch the Solettes dance. Yeah,
Okay.
I would leave because Western had the best assemblies on planet Earth. So I go over to Western, and then I go to Clark too. I would sneak over to Clark High School also, because that was my other hangout. Clark and Bonanza. I didn't really hang out at Chaparral too much. When I ditched.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry, y'all. I
What
ditched.
what about Vegas High School? What
Huh?
about Vegas High School? Vegas High
Well,
School had it going on too.
Vegas High School is the oldest high school out here. You know,
Yes.
by right, they've always had cool things going over there. But I was just talking about assembly wise. Western, man, Western assemblies was like going to a club. It's like going to a club. And, you know, so I've been to basically every assembly. I've ditched to every school possible. You know, shouts out to Bill and the Calabrese brothers over at Chaparral. We used to
Yes.
go to their ditch parties.
Oh
You know,
Lord.
I graduated
wow.
from college though, so you know how it goes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
figured it out, you know, and it's like, you know,
But
I tell kids now I've been through everything that you can possibly imagine, and they know that, so they listen to me.
and that's what we should do. We should be pouring in. We should give them those roads that we've already went down. We need to say, wait a minute, hold up. But also, I'm a big believer of this. We should not rob them of their experience. I believe it has been a time that we've told them so much that they haven't had the opportunity to fall a little bit and get back up. So it's necessary that we give them their experience.
I agree with you 1,000%. A couple bumps on the head. You know, our generation, I grew up cooking. I had to watch myself sometime.
Huh.
I had to fight grown men. You know, our generation is way different
yeah.
than this new generation. And in this new generation, we have to kind of take our part responsibility because we made it easier for our kids.
Yeah.
We made it a little bit easier for, you know, I thank God I raised my kids like my mom raised me. My daughter got 2 jobs. She don't ask nobody for nothing. If she needs something, she come to her dad.
Yes. Yes.
She has a great man in her life right now. I have a grandson. My son Tyler the same way. He has my beautiful granddaughter Zari. She's 13 years old. Wow. And he works into. He just graduated from UNLV last year as a psychologist.
Amazing.
So they grew up having everything they needed, but they didn't grow up spoiled. Because I wasn't spoiled. The only person who spoiled me was my grandfather.
Wow. But you know what? With that being said, too, people don't give them credit for how brilliant they are. They are phenomenal. They are dope. They have the greatest concepts. It is our job to infuse our knowledge, but allow them to be who they are. I rock with them all day long. They impress me. They share so many wonderful things. So, but I do think it has been some things that they were lacking that we did not teach them. So, with that being said, we learn those lessons, and it's our job to continue to teach and pour in, not push, but to share and teach. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you for coming on. I learned so many things I had no idea, even with the connection. It's just been wonderful. Please, before we get out of here, I always allow people to share any avenues of promotion, any contact information, any social media platforms you would like to shout out, or a phone number you'd like to provide if anybody wants to get in contact with you, because you are a plethora of information. And they may want to say, hey, can you point me in this direction? Is it information that you'd like to share with my audience?
Sure. Part of my business is consulting also. So basically, I want to give a big shout out to just to Las Vegas in general. Thank you, Las Vegas. I love y'all. Thank you for embracing me. Thank you for making me feel safe. Thank you for being my home. So,
I
you know,
love it.
with that being said, um, you know, um, shouts out to Ice-T, first of all. Ice, thank you for personally put me in the syndicate. That's who put me
Nice.
in. Ice-T, yeah. I got in through Ice. I didn't get in through nobody else. Ice
Wow.
sent me my clothing, sent me my hats, and told me to start a syndicate in Vegas, invited me to his house. I've been on tour
Wow.
with him. He's my business partner, so thank you, Ice-T. I appreciate you, bro. You changed my life.
Shout
Uh,
out to Ice-T.
that's right. And basically, Sexy Rollers, please follow us on Instagram. That's SEXXYROLLERZ Rollers on IG. You can find me as PaulyMaccLV on Facebook. My company specializes in shooting films, commercials, videos. We come up with concepts for you. I consult businesses to bring foot traffic to their business. And yeah, shouts out to, it's pretty much it. Vegas, a lot of money coming in. We need to work together to keep that money in our pockets. Let's circulate it 8 times before it go out to everybody else.
Say
Let's
that.
circulate it 8 times. I get my meat from Mario's. Shouts out to Mario's. That's where I buy my meat
Yes.
packet from. I go get my candy from over at Sight and Sound Candy.
Did
She know
you
me. I come in there and
say
buy 30, $40 of candy and I leave. I give it away. I don't eat it. I get my I get most of my goods off the west side of Las Vegas. That's where I shop. I get a few things everywhere else, but shouts out to Las Vegas. This is really about
yes.
Vegas,
I
to
love
Wrigley States. Love y'all. Thank y'all for adopting me. When I moved out of Gerson Park, I moved over to the States. I moved on over on Emerald. And
I
Todd,
stayed on
uh,
Duchess.
you stayed on that. Okay. Todd was the first person to come over and help me put up a basketball goal. And then Ron from across the street, then AJ, then Poop and Anthony Wyatt came down. And then for that time, those are the first 5 people that I had met in the States. And Todd took me over to meet his brother, Time Bomb, Spark, Tater Bug. And I ate spaghetti over his house because spaghetti is my favorite meal. Even though Todd was younger than me, he showed me the ropes of meeting everybody. So
Nice.
shouts out to Todd, love you, brother. And the states adopted me after I moved out of Gerson Park. So
Right
I love
on.
Las Vegas. Shouts
Well,
out to King Alski, my rap partner, Hooded Figures. Shout out to my band 187. Got an album coming out. I have a metal band. We didn't talk about that, but I got a metal band.
well,
So
we'll have you on again because there's so many things and we didn't have enough time to really unpack everything. So I'll definitely have you on again and we get to talk about so many of in detail and talk about your heavy metal band and just a plethora of things. But
shouts out to the ladies in hip hop too. Shouts out to my
yes,
beautiful Kelly J's, the Not a Bads,
yes,
the Misfits, DJ Miss Joy. Salute to my hip hop queens.
yes, rightfully so. Thank you for saying that. And before we get out of here, I always say the journey is just as important as the destination. The
Amen.
journey is where we learn and grow. The destination is where we celebrate. But the key to it all is not to stay in the destination too long. We got to get up, we got to handle our business. So,
Yep.
my name is Halima. Thank you so much for coming on to Message Revealed and saying, yes, I appreciate that. I
No doubt.
salute the men that come on, so I salute you. And one last thing, we're going to make this known since it's recorded. His name is PaulyMacc, the bridge, right here on Message Reveal.
I'll accept that.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'll be in touch. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.